It's Circle Back here on the Circles Off channel. It's part of the Hammer Betting Network and presented by Kalshi. This is the show where we cover the latest and trending stories from gambling Twitter. And starting today, we are doing it live. I am your host on Circle Back. My name is Jacob Grimenia. I'm also a creator and producer here at the Hammer Betting Network, and we're joined by our normal cast. This is normal for us. We record normally on Mondays and have it posted on Tuesdays, but this is new for you. The Monday crew is here today. It is the normal cast. It is, first of all, professional sports bettor, CEO of the Hammer Betting Network, Rob Pizzola. Then we have seasoned NBA bettor Kirk Evans to his left. And then on the left, we have Jeff Feinberg, the number one fan of Brazil games now that his Chargers have won in Sao Paulo. How did that feel, seeing them come through against the Chiefs?
That was great. I still hate Brazil. Shout out to the grounds crew.
Sorry, you hate Brazil? You don't hate the country?
The game's in Brazil. Shout out to the grounds crew. It seemed like they figured out whatever last year's problems were.
Yeah, last year was a bit of a disaster for sure, but it's great to have football back. I had the Cowboys playing on Thursday night. They're my team. That was nice to be like competitive in a game against the Super Bowl champs. Obviously, you get Greg Roman calling like real plays for once, finally, after like 2 decades for the Chargers. But yeah, it's great, man. Like I'm off such a roller coaster of emotions from yesterday, and football season kind of creeps up on me as NFL. But once I get into it, it's just like now I'm all in.
Yeah. And I know you, like, as professional bettors, like your wife knows this is just like what keeps the lights on, what gets vacations. Like, so you're probably granted the respect.
Yeah.
You know, my wife has just got to live with, like, am I going to grant him his ability to be a 12-year-old boy today?
Yeah.
And it's so nice. Like, week one, she is, like, so kind. Like, she knows that week one is, like, the pinnacle of weeks on the calendar year. And you know, next week she's going away so like,
You got the kids though.
Yeah.
But you can be yourself. You can do what you want for football.
Yeah, like I just have to use the support system to like go hang with the boys,
Right.
like mother-in-laws,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
mom, my sister, you know, whatever. But
Yeah.
still, it's such a week one is the greatest day of the year. There's not many things better than yesterday.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for Kirk because he hasn't seen his Vikings play yet. He gets on Monday Night Football, and he spent the entire offseason writing about them and Kirk's hammer and big upping them, and I think they're going to stink, honestly.
I don't believe you believe that. But yeah, we'll win by 20 tonight. McCarthy MVP starts tonight.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
You know what's really good about doing this live, maybe for Kirk's sake as well, is that you can say that's what's going to happen tonight now. It's actually going to happen tonight for the people that are watching as well. Typically, when we do the show, we have to say, well, we'll see, but you've already seen it to the people watching. Part of the reason why we have shifted to a live format for the show, but it's not just about NFL Week 1. We will have a little bit more NFL topics along the way, and I will be relaying some of the chat as well, so make sure you get involved with the chat. In order to get involved with the chat, you need to be, first of all, subscribed to the Circles Off channel, which you should be doing anyway since we're doing content Monday live. We have extra content sprinkled in on Wednesdays now. We have one you're going to want to see this Wednesday, and our normal as well Circle Back show on Friday. So make sure you're subscribed. If you're subscribed for 5 minutes, you can get involved with the chat. Also, drop a like to get us started here today. We have Fedunil Abbey. He says, Jake was back. Yes, I am back for good. No more vacations for me.
He's out of vacation days.
I might get fired, I think, if I do take another vacation. But, you know, I will, to my defense, that they're all in quick succession to try and avoid any conflict with any of the big days for the Hammer, though I was away for week 1 of NFL, which was a bit of a problem.
I will say, Kanish gives Jacob a lot of shit for, you're entitled to your vacation. Everyone is entitled to their vacation. He fills it out like well ahead of time, lets me know well in advance. So there's no complaints there, but now it's done. Like now it's
done. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Now it's done.
Yeah.
I pushed it to the edge, I think. And I recognize that. But let's jump into our topics now, everybody. First of all, I think this is the biggest topic that occurred on the sports side of Twitter over the last week or so. It was involving the MLB and the Philadelphia Phillies, and it's what's been dubbed as the Phillies Karen, and it is a haircut that does match that, I will say. An unfortunate haircut, but to describe the video before we actually will try and watch it here, John Boy Media posted a video from originally Phillies tailgate. A Phillies fan retrieves a home run ball for his son, and this woman is furious. She did not get the ball, so she stormed over and took it for them. If you haven't seen it, I'm not sure how. but we're going to try and listen in on it here. So he has the ball, goes to give it to his son, and then there she is there.
Oh my God, I cringe every time I see this.
It also looks like it's out of a skit the way he reacts.
His reaction
like, so
is I can kind of get it. Like, you know, you're just alone, and like someone just approaches you and goes nuts on you. You kind of, some people don't know how to react in that moment. Honestly, the first time I saw this, my blood was boiling. Like I can get irrationally upset, and this is probably like irrationally upset for sure, just like something that happened on the internet. It's like she basically like reached through the screen and stole my nachos or something. Like, I was so upset, and it's a horrible, terrible, terrible look, right? Like, it's just so bad. But as it's progressed over the course of the week with like all the doxing now and people going through and trying to find out who she is, and like classic 2025 culture of like, let's see if we could get her fired from her job. I'm now like starting to kind of tilt back towards like, all right, like jerk move, but like maybe we can just end it at that.
I'll keep it like to the incident. The second she doesn't seem like she's there with any kids. She might have thought the dad was too aggressive.
Yeah.
The second it's like this ball's either going to a kid or me and my purse.
Yeah.
It's like just a non-issue. That's it.
That's what was
That's
puzzling.
it. That's all. Baseballs are like anyone who needs to keep a baseball at a baseball game, unless it's like a special, a rookie, a first home run, a milestone, whatever. Every ball should be handed from an adult to a kid, almost to the point that the equity of having a kid at home doesn't even fucking fly.
Yeah.
There's 4 kids right there. I'm going tomorrow, Wednesday to the game. If I get a ball, I got 3 kids at home. But you know, like it's just going to the first kid I see who makes eye contact. That's just the rules of life.
Yes, but there's also no rules of baseball, like baseball balls into the crowd. It's like first come, first serve. That's just like the standard. It's because it lands in front of you doesn't mean you're entitled to the ball that landed in front of you. Like the guy got up off his ass and went down the road.
So I do want to watch the video again, just the first component, just like the first 5 seconds. So you'll have to watch carefully when I go to the slide. But she originally has it here.
Oh,
Where
and then
does she
spills
have
it.
Oh, I see.
So I think that's
they're
part
both
of the
reaching. No, they're both going in. Right, and he got it.
She has it or she bobbles it?
It's like
So the video starts just at like a second too late. It looks like she bobbles the catch, in which case,
She
to
tries
me,
to grab him as he's getting away. But it
that's a
doesn't
live
matter.
ball to me. That's a live ball to me.
Totally a live ball. And this is like the rules of being at a baseball game. Like baseballs are just live, and I agree with you. They go to kids generally, and if you're like a good
what do you
person-
think would she have given it to a kid, or like do you think she would have kept it?
No, I think she wanted it based on like her reaction.
No, obviously, but like she doesn't even get was she upset that she didn't get a chance to hand it to a kid? Like, who cares?
I don't know.
I think she was mad that she didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I think that my problem with this video, like obviously this woman sucks.
Yes.
And like that's apparent. But I have this problem with like a video happens, something happens at a sporting event or in public. Mm-hmm. All these accounts realize like this is going to do mega numbers.
Yes.
So immediately you see it getting blasted by all these accounts. And like some part of me does think like, well, this woman sucks. Like you shouldn't suck. But so many people suck. And this feels so like disproportionate of like this for sure is now affecting this person's life.
Yes.
And like is a real issue for her. So I just, because it's a classic cycle of like these accounts realize that it'll do massive numbers. They tweet it out. Then people get really angry and are like, who is this woman? Let's find her and try ruining her life. And it's like, if the punishment doesn't seem to fit the crime, even though she's...
Let me finish all the slides before we continue with where you're kind of going with it here. So there was a bit of I think a witch hunt is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
People were trying to find out her name. I saw multiple people report it as this one here, Cheryl Richardson Wagner. but there was community notes that suggested that wasn't the case. So I don't know exactly who, but
no, it's just some girl trying to buy candles on Facebook that kind of look like her.
People were looking for her, but there was other mention here that the crowd as well immediately reacted. It wasn't just Twitter. The crowd immediately reacted, and a lot of people had videos of it when it happened. Colin Rugg said this: the Phillies Karen was captured on camera getting another man's face for heckling her after she demanded the home run ball from a child. The woman marched over to a man in an Eagles jersey and got in his face before she appeared to flip off the entire section, completely unhinged. And then just to finish the story, the kid who was involved did end up getting a signed bat after the game, was invited to the Phillies locker room. So in a way, it did work out for him. I saw it was reported that it was his birthday as well, which obviously she wasn't aware of. But yes,
yeah, how's she supposed to know?
I mean, his dad getting cucked and giving Karen the ball back actually ended up being so plus EV.
Yeah,
yes,
like,
for them and the experience.
I know a lot of. I let Jacob finish, but I know a lot of people were also going in on the dad in that situation. It's like the guy was so caught off guard, like
a fighter.
Yeah.
To keep
Like,
the ball.
And honestly, the dad's like, I could just get my kid another ball. We probably go to games. He probably got a ball when we went to a game a month ago.
it is a weak look of him like pointing to his kid's glove and be like, "Come on."
No, it's like you're that like pathetic. You want me to take it out of the kid's glove? It just seemed like a non-confrontational dad who was out with his family. Like,
and not escalating an event in front of your kid is like probably good parenting.
And it all ended up working because they got to the freaking locker room, and I saw they were even yes, they're being interviewed on like morning shows today as like a family, so they're having their moment. I agree. No one. That was like a douche move. She deserved to be heckled by people in the stadium.
Yes.
But it does not deserve to leave the stadium.
Ryan Spader's final line of this tweet kind of really resonates with me.
So yeah, I'll read off part of this one here, but this is kind of going in the same direction that you guys are going in here, where I'm all for shaming the women for this horrible video, and I did my fair share last night, but let's not start with the doxing stuff. And then, as you say, at the end of it, she says, this lady is a lunatic. The best way to cast her out of society is to ignore her, not give her an avenue to actively participate in it. I also want to point out one of the comments here in our live chat from Mark Horn says, and I also saw this on Twitter, some rich guy gave the family, so the dad and the kid, and whoever else in the family, a World Series tickets and an RV as well. So
what are we doing?
They really cashed in. They really cashed in.
I'll have a lady roll up on me
That
at
guy's
any
a bigger
game.
idiot than the woman.
And like, what we're gonna find out, this dad is like our CEO, who like just like the last thing that they need are like free. I'm just now.
The kid got a baseball taken from his glove. It wasn't some horrific event.
The thing I want to add to this is all the people who are going after her. So I kind of agree with your point earlier. Sometimes you just got to let it die. Like, she's a jerk in my eyes, but the people who are like, you got to get her fired, you got to do this. The irony is that like you're basically giving that person more oxygen. Like they become, in their own minds, like everyone else becomes a villain.
Yeah.
And it's like,
she's now the victim.
Exactly. It turns into like, well, look, the mob is coming after me. They're out to get me. These are all bad people. When in reality, she's the one that went and took the foul ball from the kid. So the people who like, it's compound. Like, at the end of the day, the best punishment for her is that she can have to live the rest of her life being this lady. She's gonna go to baseball games and people are gonna be like, that's the girl that stole. That's enough of a punishment. Like, you don't need to go after her, find out who she is, who her family is.
But
like,
now
that's what
other Phillies fans who look like Megan Rapinoe won't want to go to baseball games.
Megan Rapinoe.
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 Raponi was my gym teacher in high school. Shout out Mr. Raponi.
If your first reaction after watching that video is, I want to get that woman fired from her job, you're probably just the exact same as her.
You're
You're the same type of person.
You're a fucking jerk too.
Well said. That's actually a great place to close it. You're on equal place on the lunatic spectrum if that's what you think is how it should be dealt with.
Totally.
She got booed out of the stadium. That's enough.
It's enough punishment. She is that lady now. That is punishment enough. It really is.
And that's the best way to finish it before we go into some actual gambling topics on the show today. After all, it is a show about sports betting. And we have some interesting conversation that has sparked up once again with prediction markets. Here we have a tweet that came from Jeff Zakodny. Hopefully I said that right. And it was some text from Jason Robbins, CEO of DraftKings, who spoke at a B of A event Thursday and was asked about prediction markets. Here is a snippet in question here. There's a lot of text here, but the highlighted text that we want to highlight for the show today says one of the chief reasons being risk management. When you are putting, as a market maker, a market up on an exchange, you just have to be comfortable with anyone taking that liquidity. Anyone can fill that order versus we are able to place limits on sharps and other people. And that is the only reason we're able to offer the variety of bets and things that we can. So this is in comparison from prediction markets, such as our sponsor on the channel, Kalshi, and also more traditional sports books like DraftKings, for example. Some of the reactions we have here are, first of all, from Lucian at LCNXYZ, says, this is why prediction markets will crush sports books in the near future. The DK CEO openly talking about limiting sharps and feeding squares to MMs. And then Plus TV Analytics says, quiet part out loud, but he's not entirely wrong. Rob, what was your initial take on this?
So first of all,
What do MMs mean?
Market makers.
Market maker.
Before I even saw the comment, my first thought was, if I was like an investor in DraftKings or anything like that, like anytime Jason Robbins makes a public quote, it seems like it always causes some sort of stir and controversy. I'm actually surprised they even let him speak publicly on any of this stuff anymore. I think the tone is very interesting because the way that he phrases it, it's like, this is such a bad thing that the prediction markets are doing, in a sense, which is like, there's no risk management. How can you operate like this? You're not going to be able to feed different types of bet types. But that's actually the feature of prediction markets. The fact that anyone can bet into them at any time and not get limited. And again, he's done this multiple times before where, I mean, listen, credit for the transparency, I guess, but I don't know how many times you want to publicly be saying that you are basically limiting winning bettors, because at some point the average person who's betting on DraftKings has to clue in and be like, hey, like I can still bet here without any issue. What's going on? So I just don't know why he addresses these things publicly, if I'm being completely honest.
I'm in trouble here. I've been called a sportsbook simp a lot on this show. And I have to do it again. I totally disagree with you, Rob.
Okay.
I think Jason Robbins is entirely right. I know Kalshi's a sponsor and I really like Kalshi. I don't get what people think prediction markets are. It seems like they think there's this whimsical place where the market makers make money and the traders make money and everyone makes money. Sportsbooks make money by people losing.
Sure.
And they lose money by people winning, and they limit. The idea that there have been exchanges for years. Mm-hmm. These aren't that different. Right now, by like some...
Well, there's one huge difference.
What?
Which is that because of the way that they're regulated and defined as a prediction market, that the liquidity is through the roof.
Well, also that they can, like Polymarket, you can access essentially anywhere in the world, and Kalshi can operate, and Novig and all these can operate in states that FanDuel and DraftKings can't right now.
Correct. Yep.
But like I feel like this is why prediction markets will crush sportsbooks in the near future. I can tell a personal story of an exchange that had massive liquidity, bigger liquidity than Bookmaker, bigger liquidity than Pin, huge, and had a lot of users, but it got absolutely destroyed because it was mostly sharps, and then the market makers started pulling liquidity, and then now the exchange is terrible. Like, people act like this is some new idea that no one's ever thought of before. Like, prediction markets have been around forever, and there's gonna have to be a breaking point where, if FanDuel and DraftKings get into California and get into Texas, that I'm not sure that these prediction markets are like the absolute way of the future that everyone is claiming. I like them and I support them, and I think they are way better, especially because you can predict a lot of new things now. But like, I feel like we're entering this imaginary world where people think that these prediction markets are like, for sure, everyone is going to be making money, and it's just, that's not possible. You need recs on prediction markets for it to function, and DraftKings and FanDuel know that they need recs and they need to limit sharps. And I don't think the prediction markets will limit these sharps, but I think that there's going to be a time where either the market gets really sharp and a lot of people are going to leave. They're going to have to recruit more recs, or especially if FanDuel and DraftKings get into new states. So I just think that people are a bit delusional right now of where prediction markets are, and a bit delusional on how DraftKings and FanDuel make money.
Sure. Okay, so just to counter that, right? You have one platform, let's use DraftKings as an example, where pretty much no sharp can play. That's not to say, listen, there's, you know, I'm not going to pretend that I live in a fantasy land. Like, there's VIP accounts that are given out to sharps who will bet into them. There are some maybe sharps who can fly under the radar, but it's a really low percentage. That is all recreational flow, the vast majority of it. Now you have prediction markets where definitely the ratio is much different.
Absolutely.
But if you're a rec and eventually a prediction market can offer you a similar experience to that, there's no reason that you wouldn't at least try that. If you're going to lose on a DraftKings, you can also lose on a Kalshi. And to me, the ecosystem is just much stronger when you allow everyone to play in some capacity.
Yeah, but like, I'm not sure that these exchanges will really ever be able to offer the offerings of FanDuel, of like the SGPs and the stuff like that. So my point is more, I feel like people think like, oh, these prediction markets are so good because you can bet on if Donald Trump is going to say taco 4 times in a speech. But like, you see the stats. The people who are betting on football. That's like way outpacing all of those prediction markets. So I just feel like we're in a bit of a spot of not understanding like where we're at.
So I don't think they care that Robbins says what he says.
No, I don't think so.
They're smart guys around him and on their boards. And if it was actually an issue, I mean, even before they made him stop speaking, they would probably tell him to stop saying it, and he's probably smart enough to listen.
Right.
He's saying it because I think it's what the message that they want to be putting out, I guess, to their investors or to the, for lack of a better term, the like elites that he's like in these rooms or Zoom calls with. Then again, it is the dumbest fucking company on earth. Just ask my bookie, because they don't even let me bet $1 on Jake Ferguson to score the first touchdown on Thursday. That's all I want to do. Is bet a loser like Jake Ferguson to score a first touchdown, but because somewhere I made 4 advantage bets in a row.
Yeah, you got some CLV on some golf outrights,
Jeff. Fucking guy is done.
Yep.
So they are the dumbest company on earth, and one day it will get to them. I only disagree with you, Kirk, but maybe it's, I'm dumb enough to think that even though betting is still sort of in its infancy, at some point, every consumer with betting will pretty much will treat betting the same way they can treat other consumer goods. That if like somewhere else is offering the same product, it's a little bit different, they'll try it. And sure, they won't be able to bet on will the first pitch be a ball or a strike, but they'll be able to bet on will my country bomb that country.
Yeah.
And there'll be other weird niche things where like, they have niche things in sports and they have niche things in other things. And I just know, like, if I need a certain product, I'm going to one store. If I want other products, I'm going to the other store. If I know 5 stores sell what I want and within range, I'm going to the store that has the best price. That, like, I don't know, like, at some point, I don't understand, like, how people who line up for like for like 4 cents cheaper gas, don't like, and I'm not saying everyone has to be price sensitive. Like me and my buddies don't care. Like if a line changes 4 cents, it's the end of the world for you guys, and I'm betting $200. I don't care about $8 added or to my bet. Like that doesn't matter to me, and I think you guys understand how casuals would think that. But I still don't understand how people aren't just price sensitive in the sense that like they will shop at other places. No one is exclusive to any place. Mm-hmm. It's like if it's it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just don't think we've seen that much evidence because there is like a bit more of a barrier of like putting money into another site. Like you already have money here, and betting's a pretty compulsive thing. But yeah, I don't disagree. I think these prediction markets are really good, and I like them. I just think they're being presented as this place where everyone can win money, and it's like that's just not possible.
No, that's definitely not the
but pull that tweet, that first tweet. That's really kind of what I'm being. No, sorry, the next one. Next page.
Where
This is why prediction markets will crush sportsbooks in the near future.
So to be clear, I think that the future ecosystem is just a balance of both.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what there are going. I will say what I think something that Kalshi has done very recently that is a really good move is they've made it look more like a traditional sports book. So it's you go to a football game now. It basically looks like you're betting at a sports book, even though they're classified as a prediction market. I think that was a very smart move because
totally agree.
So if they have those advantages at play, I don't see how they're not going to take market share. I really don't.
No, I do agree with that for sure. I just think like the idea that prediction markets will crush sportsbooks in the near future because of like the efficiency.
No, I don't believe that either. I don't believe that.
So
FanDuel and DK aren't going anywhere.
So I actually put a poll up for if you still want to vote, you can vote. I asked who will be more dominant in the gambling space in 10 years. Rob, you said more of a mix, which wasn't an option. But if you had to pick, like Kirk did, where he said prediction markets will be the more dominant force, what would you pick?
No, well, I didn't say that.
No, Kirk said traditional sports books will be more of a. Actually, I don't know if he actually said it explicitly.
Yeah, I'm saying I disagree with this point that prediction markets will crush sports.
So you believe traditional sports books will still be dominant in 10 years' time, as do 59% of the people in the poll. What do you think, Rob and Jeff?
I think so. It's a tough question to answer. I think what's more likely to happen, probably traditional sports books are still more dominant 10 years from now. Part of the reason why is a lot of what's pushing the prediction markets forward at this point is the way that they're regulated. And I can't say with certainty that they're going to be regulated that way forever. I mean, that's certainly a topic that's been talked about a lot in recent months. So I would lean traditional sports books. I love having betting options. It's as simple as that for me. The more the merrier. I hope that there's regulations in place where there are fucking hundreds of places that I can bet. That's where I hope that the space is headed.
Still traditional sports books, but every time there's an election that people are talking about, Kalshi's numbers is going to tick up. And if they can also satiate people's football needs, then they're only going to grow, but they're not overtaking sports books.
But what they really have going for them as well is because of the prediction market side of things. People reference them regularly as with the probabilities of what's going to happen because they post it in that manner. So I think they're also getting a lot of marketing where traditional people who are not even in the betting space, let's say, are using their numbers as source of truth.
Like political podcasts are
right?
just talking about.
So it's just another thing that I think is working for. It's definitely gaining momentum. Let's put it that way. The gap has shrunk a bunch.
If you do want to sign up to Kalshi, you can do so with the QR code that is on screen now. Kalshi is our sponsor here on the Circles Off channel and for the Circle Back programming. So to get involved with the prediction markets and stuff like election betting, I'm sure you can get involved with that right now with pretty good liquidity. Oftentimes, very good liquidity in a lot of markets. Again, make sure you do sign up to Kalshi, not just because they're the sponsor on this channel, because they are a fantastic product. And like Rob said, something that is needed in the space, and something that is good to mix into the space as well. At any time in the audio or the video, you can go to the link in the description to sign up to Kalshi today as well. Now, some troubling news, unfortunately, on the show. I see a great number of people here, over 120 people watched right now. 25 likes. We need to bump those numbers up. If you're enjoying this stream so far, please make sure you do hit the like button. I'm sure Rob was a little worried when I saw
Jeff's face when you said troubling news on the show. He's like he saw a ghost. Looked like Sam Darnold over here in the corner.
I'll go hook you a like.
Yeah.
I put him on the spot a little bit, and now Rob's on the spot because he's going to tell us what we have coming later today on the Hammer Betting Network in college football and in NFL football.
Yeah, so college football tonight, Hit the Books is at 6 o'clock instead of the usual 5 o'clock. That's because Joey Knish has a very important, I think, doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, something like that. The whole world revolves around.
Look who's missing the show now.
But no one will.
So he's got a 7 o'clock doctor's appointment?
He's got 4 to 5, I think. So we had to push back Hit the Books to 6 today, but you want to tune in for that. College Football Mondays. I think the guys do a really good job of breaking that down. I'm back tonight on Forward Progress with Jason Cooper, 8 p.m. Eastern time for Vikings Bears. We go live about 15-20 minutes before the game. We give out some prop bets, some SGP looks. It's a pretty fun stream that we put on. We're just going to watch the game. You guys watch us. We interact. hopefully we get a good game out of it on Monday Night Football. So that's over on Forward Progress tonight if you want to catch that.
And
You're gone. Are you on tonight?
Well,
I didn't want to plug you if you're not.
Well, I'm currently being waterboarded by my local internet provider.
That's why.
And that's why I hopped out of here. That's why you saw my quick 5-yard dash out of here earlier. But I answered Goofy to transfer me to Mickey.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work my way up the factory
to
line.
Donald Duck right at the top.
Yeah, clown show, fucking Mickey Mouse operation.
I will also be there for the watch along tonight, so it should be a fun one for us to hopefully enjoy. Even if the game is bad, the watch alongs are always good and make the games even better.
Yep,
now to our next topic, we go to Bill Crackman at Bill Krackenberger, well known in the sports betting space, a bit of a veteran in the space. He's been interviewed on this channel previously. And speaking of interviews, maybe look out for something a little bit later on this week. By the way, then we go to the tweet. First of all, it's from Wager Talk, saying Bill Crackman entering the $100,000 Grandissimo contest at Circa Sports. And then the Crackman himself quoted it by saying, lots of stress in the Grandissimo contest, had to throw out one of the partners out last minute. You have to be a team player. Teamwork. He obviously never seen the part of Untouchables with Al Capone on this subject. And neither have I, to be honest.
You never seen The Untouchables?
No.
Me
Wow.
neither.
Really?
I should watch it.
Yeah, it's a really good film. Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro.
And then to finish off the tweet, Survivor Atlas, which is a tool to help you with your Survivor contest entries, says, alluded to this on our first Survivor tailgate. Group decisions get messy at high stakes. Grandissimo will break a few partnerships. A $100,000 buy-in hits different. So I'm not sure what you guys wanted to kind of lead off with here and what kind of topics you wanted to discuss for this. I was kind of curious if any of you have had issues with partners when it comes to contests like this and how it was handled in the past.
I feel this pain a lot. I think, especially when you're playing a 100K football contest, that's there's so much ego involved with everyone who's participating in that. And you put that on a team, it is extremely challenging to come to a consensus 5 picks. And everyone in that group thinks they're some sort of Rain Man. It's oh, look at my record from last year. I should get precedent over you and this and that. So I find, and I've been in so many partnerships when it comes to contests before, I find it's nearly impossible that everyone in that week is going in happy. It so rarely happens. So, I got invited out to be a partner in a lot of Grandissimo entries. You want to buy my stake, you want this. And I just frankly declined so many of them this year because, first of all, I'm part of the problem. I want my opinion in the picks as well. But I also just don't want to spend 3 hours arguing every Saturday afternoon because one guy projected, the EV to be this and the other guy did this. You're not going to get anywhere. So I read this and I laughed because I feel the pain. It's very real. It's just really tough when egos are at play in sports.
Yeah, I think you just kind of need to be clear from the outset because I actually have a stake in a couple Grandissimos and I'm partnered with someone for normal Survivor. But in the Grandissimo, the guy who has the most is the one running it, and he just posted, we're picking this, and everyone just liked it in the group. And the one I'm splitting in Circa, we both kind of just go back, but back and forth, but it's not so. I think both of us don't really think we're experts, so it kind of depends on who you are. But I think if you're gonna partner in a big contest, make sure you know who gets final say. I think you got to clear that out at the start.
Yeah.
I can see how this could be a thing. It's easy, but I don't understand how you can enter thinking you or your dick is the big swinging picker.
That's the tough part
to
of
me,
it.
it's and I'm not a poker person, but I know people buy into poker people, and I know this one person at the table, and they're not even probably in the state where that's happening. But I would think it's almost the same thing. I'm investing in you. I'm investing in. I don't know how it works. If I was entering any of the partnerships where I could have got a little nibble, a little taste of a few people. I was just investing in them. I wouldn't have bought enough where my say would have even granted, where my equity would have even granted me a seat at the table. But I would think you're only asking for a messy situation if you're doing it differently. Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
That's
And then
dangerous.
exactly that. Because I could see that.
and
being
I
a
got
problem.
5 Survivor, well, more, but like with my like best friends.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, I almost do it for the camaraderie.
Right.
Like we talk more in that pick about the pick than we do like all year about anything else.
Sure.
Like our kids could be going through, like, it's not that we don't care. We're just guys. Like I'm literally in it for the camaraderie of the boys, and someone screwing up, obviously gets laid and get different. Like that's just like a lifetime story. Like there's equity in one of my best friends making a catastrophic mistake either. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone.
I understand.
No, I get it.
totally get
Totally.
that.
If you get it.
Close friends, I get that.
If you get it, you get it. But this is dangerous, and it's good they kicked him out before it started, maybe.
So I know when Fez got into Jason's face at Bet Bash, he accused him of having like no journalistic integrity. So I'm doing a lot of research into these topics to make sure we got the full story, right? And Crack, like he replied to someone else that tweeted him. They're like, well, like what was the disagreement? And I don't remember exactly which team it was off the top of my head, but essentially this other guy that was on their team wanted to take what was a small favorite. on this week's
I
team.
saw this as well.
It might have been the Steelers. I could be
So
wrong.
there
it
was
was,
a
it was
Steelers
Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville,
Okay.
yeah.
So now this is where like maybe arrogance comes in. There are things that I think are objectively right and wrong. Like in the week that you had in the NFL this past week with Philadelphia, Washington, Arizona, Cincinnati, Denver.
Philly.
Yeah, you have 5 teams that are 6-point favorites or higher. There is absolutely no reason to take a team that is, at the time, a 3.5-point favorite. So, like, if somebody came to me and said, we're doing this, I like Jacksonville. I bet Jacksonville this week. But if someone came to me and said, no, this has to be the pick, I'd be like, no, this is just wrong. Like, it is flat out. There is no mathematical argument. I'm sorry, we're playing for $100,000. Vibes, gut feelings are not doing it for me at this point in the contest. So that's where you get into messy situations. Because if someone came and did that to me, I would potentially do the exact same thing and be like, you know what? Maybe we split this up and you go on to another team.
If there's going to be a problem in week 1, then what happens when there's
Exactly.
actual,
When the stakes are higher,
the stakes are higher,
Your
the
EV's
decisions
now
are
$1 million instead of 100. Like, there's so much that could go on. So I don't know. It's tough.
All right, we'll move into. So you're good?
We are going to get some great stories out of the grid. Like we might get weekly stories of shit shows. I mean, I don't know that they'll come to Twitter, but I feel like in your inner circles, you'll be hearing like some wild people, or you'll just be getting a call from one of your buddies being like, can you believe Reddy's making us take this? I've been trying to talk him out of it. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I badly regret not signing up. I have huge FOMO. When I was out for Bet Bash, I was talking to one of the hosts there who's like responsible for getting the entries at Circa. I think his name was Cam, and he was like, they're probably aiming for 30 entries. Ended up with 69, $6.9 million prize pool. Next year, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of guarantee, maybe like a 10 million guarantee or something like that. It is going to be huge. And I already have like FOMO. I had planned to fly back.
that you didn't
up.
captain a team, or that you didn't join others, or both?
So I didn't have, when I came back I made an agreement at Bet Bash with Chinese Mike and a few others that we were going to do a couple teams together. And I was going to fly back out to Vegas in a week. But I have, for people that, I don't care, I live my life like an open book. I said it on Pizza Buffet yesterday. You probably noticed the scar on the side of my face by now. I have very early stages of melanoma. It was caught real early. I had to get it removed. Had to have a couple procedures in the last few weeks. Couldn't make it back out there to actually sign up in person. And the reason that I was going to go back and sign up in person is because we're Canadian and we can recover the taxes with wins. So it's kind of nice versus an American who has to pay 50% tax on the winnings and stuff like that. But I was sitting through yesterday and
Can't believe you didn't send your wife out. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Benson would have treated her to a nice.
100%. Well, I mean, if she go to get the whiskey tasting.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a bunch of perks that come with like a legacy club night.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I have a small percentage in a team, but I didn't realize the perks of having your own team are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I definitely would have manned my own team if I knew that. I found out after. Now I'm staking in someone else who gets all
they
the
get
perks.
to do all the-
It's bullshit.
Hey, we'll leave this. What is your prediction for next year's entry number in that?
I think it will double. If it's a $100,000 prize, I think you're entry. I think you're probably looking at 125 to 150 entries next year. I really do, and I think a lot of influencers will get in the mix as well.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I'll say is Bryce Hall, like the TikToker, put in 2 entries immediately. I sent it to someone sent it to me being like, now Grandissimo's massively plus EV.
Yeah, it's true.
Two out of 60 entries are a complete fool.
Well, so that my original, we'll move on to the next topic here in a second, but my original thought was like, it doesn't make any sense. First of all, I'm not a great contest player, for one. I've never cashed in a contest. I actually really struggle with finalizing picks in these. I'm like, do I want to do that at a much higher stake? At this time, I also thought I was going to maybe be doing 100K head-to-head with Fezzik as well. I'm like, I got that going on. That didn't materialize.
I wish we could get field strength with the contest like we do with golf fields. We're like, this tournament's field strength versus that. So we could just, historic contests could be weighted.
But I'm like, why would I want to face like the sharpest people in the industry for 100K? Like, there's so many better ways for me to spend 100K. But then I saw the same thing as you, and I started thinking to myself, like, how many people, like, I don't know, is like Sean Perry in
probably.
Probably, I assume he's like guys like that. I'm like, all right, maybe might be worth it. I think it probably certainly is going to be worth it next year.
Well, in Sunday Night Football, we had what you may be able to consider as a bad beat if you were on the Ravens. But the term bad beat often gets debated, but I think that this one does fit the bill of a real bad beat. It occurred in the Kentucky game against Ole Miss. I have the screenshot up here. So Ole Miss was up 30-20. There was 13 seconds left. It was a 1st and 10 for Kentucky, and they kicked a field goal to make it a 7-point game. A 39-yard field goal. The spread in the game was plus 9.5 for Kentucky. So because of this kick, they covered the spread, and it was a completely unnecessary kick towards the outcome of the game. In fact, you could argue that maybe it would have been better off going for a touchdown in the position here. But BR Betting posted this as Kentucky kicked a field goal with 10 seconds left to backdoor the spread. Unreal. And then the Ole Miss coach after the game said in one of those sideline interviews, sorry to all the gamblers there at the end. I think this is a real, true bad beat. Can anyone try and find any is there any reason why Kentucky would have kicked this field goal? Maybe they get the ball back on an onside kick and get a downfield shot. Is that it?
So I wasn't following this in real time, but why would they not kick a field goal? Because like if they're going to go for a touchdown, then they have to onside and kick a field goal. Like you have a much better chance of kicking here, onsiding, and then a Hail Mary. Like this is the only chance that they would have.
The kick makes sense because if you recover the onside kick, you
can't
aren't
kick a
in
field
field goal range.
Yeah.
So they don't have enough. They have 3 plays essentially. They have field goal, onside kick, Hail Mary, and then the clock will be done. So it makes sense. This is like a medium.
If they go for the touchdown on this play and get the touchdown, then they're essentially taking the tie out of it and can only play for the win when they recover the onside kick.
And Hail Mary again, yes.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I do. So I found it very refreshing that Lane Kiffin actually said, because like think about where we were like 10 years ago.
I don't know that that's a good thing.
Well, here's what I will say from a betting perspective. I think that there's actually some signal in knowing which coaches know the point spread and actually pride themselves on covering. Because let's say you're live betting a game. Let's just say later on in the year, and Lane Kiffin has an opportunity to kick a field goal to cover the spread. You now know that he actually cares about that.
I think you're right.
Especially in college.
Yeah.
Right?
The only NFL head coach I've ever seen do that is McVay. Like the Rams kicked a field goal late, and he specifically mentioned the spread after the game.
I just think this opens the door a bit. And Kiffin's like for head coaches in high level sport, he's perpetually online. He plays into it. He's with does the whole Barstool crew stuff. He knows the spread. He doesn't shy away from knowing what the number is. That being said, to acknowledge like this, I think in one way it almost invites like some of that evil stuff when it goes against you. Like you're almost like when you ignore football point spreads in any part of the gambling, I feel like you're no, and people like harass you about it. You know, I feel not that it's right.
Like, are you saying let's say his team loses like 52-0 or something like that? You think it invites people to say, well, like
if they do something really dumb that costs a spread? I think it just invites a level of harassment because this guy's into the spread and should know better.
My only rebuttal to that would be that's going to happen anyways. Like, think about the modern culture. Anything that's deemed slightly questionable is going to invite the conversation of, was this done to intentionally influence the point spread? Sean Payton going for it and throwing whatever the hell they did there at the end of the game. Denver, Tennessee, right? That was all of a sudden, it's like, well, do you know who Vegas needed in the game? They needed Tennessee. Why would Denver not kick the field goal? You know, like the fucking Zach Galifianakis seeing the numbers and shit all over the place meme, right? Like it's going to be anything that comes down to questionable decision making automatically nowadays, because of where we're at as like sports betting culture, is questioned no matter what. So I don't think him publicly saying it is, whether he's publicly said this or not, I don't think it would have any impact on the next one. I don't.
I mean, I certainly don't think, I mean, it's there regardless. I just think there's a level, and I think there's certain people, like extras that you might invite to it, but no doubt it's there regardless.
Well, like, it's what bothers me is when people pretend like it doesn't exist, right? Like, these leagues are basically built off of betting nowadays, right? If you didn't have betting, how many people are watching games on Saturdays and Sundays? Still some, I'm not suggesting this, right? But betting is what drives these things. So they might as well embrace it like it's a real thing. I mean, I don't see the problem. So a lot of people were up in arms, like, oh, how dare he talk about the point spread? Who gives a shit?
It was also like he was pretty relaxed the way he said it.
Yeah.
He wasn't like poking fun at it.
But make notes of it. Any coach that talks about the point spread, if I know a coach knows what the point spread is on a game, and I knew that they're actively checking, I'll tell you that would affect the way that I live bet their games, 100%.
I see a couple of comments calling me out, so I apologize for calling this a bad beat. But hey, listen, if I was on Kentucky's side, or sorry, the Ole Miss side here, I wouldn't be feeling too good about this one.
No, it sucks. It's 10 seconds left in the game. Yeah, of course it sucks. But I mean, this happens every week where like a field goal affects the spread. Missed field goals, blocked field goals. Like, special teams, drive you nuts when you're betting sports.
Before we go to our last full-scale topic, reminder, we have a newsletter here at the Hammer Betting Network, Kirk's Hammer. Lots of great stories, lots of great betting insight provided by our very own Kirk Evans here. You can check it out with the link that is in the description all the time. Kirk, why don't you just quickly tell us about something coming up or maybe a recent article you want to feature here?
Well, today's the first day where Kirk wasn't the writer of
It's Kirk and George's and Suma's.
So we're opening it up. So football article today recapping yesterday's fun day of football. So yeah, there's going to be more stuff coming and more constant articles for sure.
Yeah, if people just want to, obviously if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe, but we'll be pretty consistent on a weekly basis. Kirk's still going to be writing every single Friday. Monday, you'll get some takeaways from Suma in terms of the weekend NFL. George has also been poring over injuries on Monday morning as well. I know some people, especially the ones who watch our Forward Progress streams like late on Sunday night, they're big into compiling injury information. So maybe that saves you some time on Mondays as well. But be worth it for you.
All right, last full-scale topic, as I mentioned, featuring Alex Monahan, creator of Odds Jam. Sold it for $160 million, and now he is promoting Bankroll U, I think it is. I started sports betting with the 5K bankroll. I've now made $100+ track profit each of the past 5 years. If you don't have $5,000 to put into gambling, then quote-unquote funded sports betting, example, Bankroll U, is a great option. Here's how Bankroll U funded accounts work. And I honestly read this, and I still do not understand any of it. I don't understand this at all. Can one of you help me out here?
Yeah, so the way that I interpreted it, because I went through the entire thread, was you're basically putting down a one-time amount, and you are trying to hit certain targets with a fake bankroll that they give you. And if you do hit those targets, they will give you that as a real bankroll. So this is kind of like a long shot parlay. That's how I interpreted it. Now, I have like an up and down feeling on Alex Monahan over the years. I actually think in some ways he's been very beneficial to the industry in terms of like OddsJam was a very innovative product that a lot of people got started on and learned the ropes from. Flupp would be a great example. Flupp was an odds jammer before, moving on to his own betting.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I have something. Go finish.
This one bothers me, Jeff.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's not stupid. He's very clearly smart. Jacob, you're slightly wrong. He sold OddsJam for $80 million plus a possibility of another $80 million.
Sorry.
However,
I just read the Spin Flincher tweet there.
The guy is rich. All right. So there's no need to go down these paths, and like he knows, any seasoned bettor knows exactly what this is. It is essentially. I'm not gonna say it's a scam or a grift, but it's gonna be incredibly challenging.
I think it is. I'm not. I don't know.
I personally believe it is as well, and it is.
It is, of my opinion, it is a scam, and he knows he's running a scam. And I mean, like him creating OddsJam, yeah. I mean, like look at Rudy Giuliani after 9/11, and then look what he became.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious comparison.
Right? Like there was once upon a time, this was a revered man who was going to be on like the pedestal forever of certain things, and he did this.
Yeah.
And he'll never come back from it. And it wasn't even this.
He's too smart to not know that this is garbage.
And I replied to the tweet to the FBI and to the Department of Justice.
I saw you at the FBI.
He deserves to be living in a tunnel under Gaza.
Oh my God, Jeff.
Man.
That's what he deserves.
Well, I listen.
And they don't let civilians in those tunnels.
No,
they
don't.
So he's one of them. Allegedly. Of my opinion.
I can't believe how I thought I was going to be the most upset about this entire thing.
No, come on.
Yeah.
We're live. You took the risk. Like, this is...
No, I don't care what.
Okay, yeah.
I agree with Jacob that it literally took me I wrote in a group chat yesterday when I knew this was going to be a topic, saying, someone please explain this to me like I'm 5. Like, I could not understand what the fuck this was.
Yeah.
But just like using basic logic, if you're thinking about signing up for this, obviously Bankroll U is a company that's trying to make money. So they're going to give out the 5K rewards a lot less than 5K is going to come into the company.
Exactly.
So like, it's just such a flawed thought, just from the start. I don't understand who this is appealing to, how they constructed this idea.
It's selling hope.
You had the best prize.
This is one of the most classic grifts of all time. It's selling hope. You got no money. You can't put together 5K for a bankroll. Well, you don't have to. Give us $229, and if you achieve these goals, we'll give you the 5K. Guess what? That person's not gonna fucking achieve those goals. They just basically paid $229 for nothing, and he knows that.
We have to reference the Alex Monahan tweet of if your bankroll is $50, you should quit gambling and get a job, which he took a lot of shit for.
We talked about that. It's true.
We did talk about it on the show.
If you have a $50 bankroll, it's a lot easier to grow your bankroll doing another job. And then if you can get to a 5K bankroll, not using this combine, but by figuring it out, or even less than a 5K, but like, $500, $1,000, then maybe start thinking about, winning and betting.
So Rob actually had a great comment before the show where he compared this to the arcade, where you get points, tickets for the games, and the prize shop, it's like filled with, there's like 100 penny prizes.
Yeah.
Like prizes that are worth 2 cents, and you got to leave with 2 of them. But there's like 3 huge stuffies hanging from the top that no one pretty much gets. Unless you're my 8-year-old and you find one of those malfunctioning machines just pumping the tickets, we leave with the big one. But no one's supposed to.
Right.
And that's what the game is.
Yeah.
So there'll be some penny prizes that get dropped out, but the whole thing is is a scam at first sight.
Very quick math. It was $229 for potential of $5,000 bankroll. So it's about 4.5%. 229 is 4.5% of 5,000. So they very, very clearly have done the math on this and said that the likelihood that someone is going to reach this goal is less than 4.5%. It's probably less. I don't remember the exact specifics, but it's probably less than 1%. Like it's selling hope. It really is. Listen, a lot of products nowadays are built off of that, especially in like the fitness markets, protein shakes, this and that and whatever. It's like, all you got to do is, drink this and you're going to look like this. This is how the world works, sadly, but it's pretty disrespectful and I would say evil for someone who is as wealthy as he is to be pushing something like this.
It is
like it is the equivalent of what Jalen Carter did to Dak Prescott. He's just directly spitting on the people who he's built a following from.
I'll one up you. It's like, the shame I feel when I see Tom Selleck hawking reverse mortgages to old people.
I know.
Just like kill me inside. These people, these old people with nothing.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself
become the villain. That's it.
Good way to finish it. And it'll move us into the chopping block on today's show. A few things on the chopping block. First of all, George and GRP wins and his first venture into the pick selling game. The first pick and only pick of week 1 was on the Miami Dolphins, who managed to look even worse than the New York Giants did in week 1. He said, first of all, there's the bets with the tracking areas that match, and he showcases his Miami Dolphins bet plus 0.5. And then they were down early, and they were down big throughout the game. He said, Miami was my pick. They're down 17-0 early in the second quarter. And then he said, I'm going to take a nap after reading 24 tweets laughing at me, including Jeff right now. I was going to throw to him first if he can compose himself in time.
I love George. I think he can,
rough first go with things.
Listen, prime Adam Sandler comedy could not have written something that would have made me just the whole, the origin story of the pick selling.
It all built up.
Yeah.
I really thought about it this morning. I think the only thing that could have been better for content purposes was him, if he had bet Baltimore and tried to victory lap it for the entire second half. That's the only thing that I think, because a lot of people were doing that yesterday.
And hey, there's one we're going to feature in a sec.
But it's too good, man. I mean, it really is too good. The video afterwards, it was so funny. I guess 3 to 5 plays are being released this week now.
That's so dangerous.
Oh, yeah, we're already
in chase
there.
Last year, George, you went 10-4. 10-4 on sides. I put air in your tires. That's a good number. As part of the series, part 3 dropping soon. Feedback's been phenomenal. I said, George, will being a tout now make you be pressured to make picks that you weren't making? You would have never made last year.
You asked him that.
He seemed to think no, and then we're already 10-4 last year.
Yep.
And now we're already thinking 3 to 5 picks in week 2? Georgie, come on, man.
I think it's an interesting question of what is a tout, because is selling picks a tout, or does someone actually have to buy them for you to be a tout? Do we have one confirmed purchaser?
He claimed there wasn't one.
Because the last time I saw was that the first thing in his mailbox was someone sent him a jacket or something.
Gear, yeah.
Nautica gear. Look nice.
Well, he says there's one, but he also says next week's picks are free.
So, he is... I think it's even questionable at this point if he is selling picks.
I love George, and George, don't worry. All these people turning on you, listen, they've been in on it, so they're still in on it. And the fine line of he's in on the joke or he's delusional, I would always team in on the joke. I was there in person, but the videos after referencing the syndicates and the sports books.
Oh, buying his picks?
Needing his package. It's the delusional meter is breaking.
We need, you remember the Flacco meter? You remember the Flacco meter with the elite, right? We need a delusional meter with and right now it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Right now it's pretty high.
And I'm teaming on the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping there's going to be a video in the day or two that's just going to like win everyone back over. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but George, you always win the people back over. So, stay strong, buddy.
I learned this over the years as well, personally. If you're going to be like the industry watchdog, you create a next level of expectations for yourself as well. And that's, he's going to learn that. I would encourage George to remain transparent throughout this entire process. That would be my...
It's in the notebook. What is he going to do? Erase it?
But the notebook also, I mean...
His moral superiority over the bet slip is...
Could we...
Like, that isn't... That's...
Could we talk about the actual pick, though, itself?
Yes, but I don't know why he thinks the bet slip is like a moral high ground.
Well, but you know what? It is, in a sense. I don't think everyone needs to show bet slips. But there are people who give out picks and
George
don't bet the
is at
picks.
the point now, like when he
all
says
him.
he's betting, I think we all believe him that he's betting.
And what I will say is the bet that he made this week, showing the slip, actually made me question him as a human. He bet the Dolphins plus half, minus 113, instead of the pick minus 110. In the, I guess, the off chance that the game ends in a tie, he spent the extra 3 cents to capture that? What the hell is that? How is that not the biggest story here? Like, that right away is like, what the hell is he doing in this exact moment? I don't get it.
My like room of friends and George fans, like the LOLs could not be contained. Because I don't even think we found out he had the pick till it was like 20-0.
No, well,
he might have released it. Word got to
maybe because I'm in the inner circle.
Yeah.
But he sent it to me like right at 1:00, right as the games were kicking off. By the way, my one pick this week was Dolphins because there was some misreporting too. People were putting other stuff out there, right? There's a fake like Jets plus 4.5 minus like he bought points. Like, that doesn't sound like a George thing, right? But that was floating out there. That's
it could be thing. Like a year away from George having to sell picks under an alias.
Just so the sportsbooks and syndicates won't buy them.
Next up on the chopping block, an old friend of this show, a couple throwbacks in the show today, including this one here. I say friend, but it's actually Mozzie, who you may remember from the fight he had with Sean Perry on the Elf Show back in that thing's heyday. And it was originally reported here by Jeff Nadeau, a true old friend of the show, used to be on the Friday show. He said, sports betting tout Mozzie has been sentenced to 12 to 48 months in state prison after pleading guilty to fraud charges recently. And we talked about those fraud charges coming up on a show in the last couple months. I can't remember exactly when. Mozzie, whose real name is Darnell Smith, has been transferred to DOC. It's unclear what institution he's currently at due to the site being down. Dave Mason of Bet Online says maybe he can learn to box in the joint because he got his ass kicked in that fight. Yes. We remember Mozzie well. What do you guys think of this?
I mean, I forgot he existed until this story came out because he was pretty popular in the spaces for a bit. I think I had a go with him at one point in time as well. Here's what I think. The least surprising thing imaginable in my opinion.
Well, I don't know if we have to go in my opinion.
I don't think I actually legally have to say that anymore. He pleaded guilty to fraud charges, so it's no longer an opinion. He's a fraudster. He actually is. What a fucking shock that that's the case. What really surprising outcome that the guy who's going to casinos betting $500,000 a game, real money, and they're letting him place these bets is a fraud. Unbelievable.
When's he? Elf's probably hitting up the Department of Corrections to see if they can get him on a spaces.
Probably. At this point. Maybe he's just going to go into the prison facility himself, film from like the lunchroom or something like that. I don't know. I can't believe that honestly some of these guys were given platforms to just kind of perpetuate the...
I don't want to go into the whole spaces thing, but given platform is even like... Elf was groveling at this man on Spaces.
In fairness, I did give Elf a platform as well, so I got to accept some ownership in all of this.
If you had to compare Elf to an athlete, like in the sense of like what happened, is there anyone that would hit it more on the mark than like Linsanity?
It's a good call.
Yeah.
I was trying like
where just like overnight like popularity skyrocketed
like
and then you're
Michael
like,
Thomas or something. Is that it? The Saints receiver? Is that his
He
name?
was
No,
good. He was good for a lot of
while.
years. That guy balled.
He was really good.
Yeah, that guy balled.
Linsanity's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that
Maybe
comp.
there's a fighter who you could think of. I don't know.
Maybe the chat can come up with something.
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Shane
Give us-
Spencer. Does that ring a bell to you?
Shane Spencer.
He was like a Yankee rookie. Came up, he hit like 7 homers right away. It's like maybe the late 90s.
You're a few years older than
Yeah.
me.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know why my brain went there. But in my own time, my
trying to
brain
draw.
went there this weekend.
Yeah.
Because that guy, like, there was a moment. Like, say, Kirk was always not as in as we were, but
Yeah.
there was a moment.
There was a moment.
So speaking of the Sean Perry versus Mozzie fight, we also have a tweet featured here from Sean Perry himself. He said, "Hey, Jeff Benson of Circa, how much more do I got to win till I shut down your guys' sportsbook? And I'll give you guys a 1K discount for an early payment, up 27-13, but it's already over." Of course, referencing his Baltimore Ravens -1 bet, $200,000 to win $181,000. So not only looking really stupid, even if the bet had won, Victory lapped his bet early and did not even win the bet. How are we feeling on this one, Rob?
If there was a Mount Rushmore of biggest losers on gambling Twitter, I don't know how Sean Perry is not like immediately featured. Like, people might say like, Rob, this is not true. I don't hate a lot of people. I really don't. I dislike people. Hate is a very strong term. I hate Sean Perry. I cannot stand him. I actively go out of my way to avoid ever since arguing with him in spaces, like I did. So, but this got sent around to me like a million times last night. If there's one person I would be actively rooting for to lose, it's this guy. Like every fiber of my being cannot stand him. And just like a classic, never do this victory lap early. But to him, you know what? He probably wakes up this morning, lost a couple $100K on the game. Who cares? Fucking trust fund money, doesn't give a shit anyways. Owes, whatever. But maybe, allegedly. But he probably likes the amount of attention that this tweet got. Seriously, he's like that type of person. It's just this new wave of clout chasers that get attention at all costs. And I can't stand it. Honestly, can't stand it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
I mean, there's a...
I think I have him blocked or muted. Like, he's just very annoying.
I think we actually have like a worse clout chaser in chopping block that I'd like to get to at some point here before the show ends. But I'm sure we
let's
will.
just get to it right now
Well,
to
there we-
end the show. At Salvo Bets
It's just unbelievable.
says, this is the tweet. I'm going to read this tweet word for word. Really sad news to report to you from Salvo Bet's family. Salvo Bet tragically passed away in Mexico. He drowned in the Las Cañadas waves pool. Really sad to share this news as his passion was sports betting, and he always told us that. April 8th, 2005, September 1st, 2025. Then he posted, "Me dead? Nah, I just wanted to shake things up for when I got back. Who's ready for some plays tonight from a ghost? Hashtag back from the grave." And joke with 4 E's and an underscore says, "This might be the biggest loser shit I've ever seen on Twitter. Faking your death for Twitter engagement is a new low." Rob, go ahead because you previewed this one.
It is actually like one of the saddest things I've ever...
But you laughed your ass off.
That's one of the worst tweets of all time. That's in the Hall of Fame.
Like I can't even put myself into the state of mind where you're like, you know what? I think maybe like I'm just gonna pretend that I drowned and we'll see if that like boosts my numbers.
I would argue, I don't know this person, but I'd assume it's like I'm going on a limb here.
Yeah.
A very innocent crime. Like, I don't know, like...
No,
hear me out. Does this person, like, interact with anyone? Or is just some fake, faceless tout? Like, no one actually knows who it is. You couldn't do that because you have, like, friends or people you have relationships with on Twitter. Like, I know you wouldn't do it anyway.
No, I would...
This is...
Yeah. No, I know what you're getting at. I live my life in a public forum, right? People know me.
Yes.
You can come in. I bet Bash, you can
Like,
meet
I
me.
don't think his friends or family, anyone who actually knows him, saw this and was like, and the only people, like, R.I.P. man, we're like, I get, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be sad if someone died, but like, we're just people who've been following a scammer touter. We're like,
Guys,
sucks, you're gone.
We have, wow.
I'll just admit, dude, I laughed my ass
We
off.
have normalized clout chasing so much that pretending to be dead is like a viable growth strategy for someone. Like, he literally did this.
Don't ever fucking do this.
For engagement. Like, think about where we are at.
It got 23 likes at the time of the screen grab. Like, yes,
At the
he
time
did
of the
it.
screen grab, yes.
He did it for attention.
Let me
but
see
it's
if
like,
let me see if this tweet's still up.
Yeah,
It's the
hashtag
lowest-
back from the grave got me.
This
Not gonna lie.
obviously like gets so far past like the ridiculousness of clout chasing that it does enter like this is really funny. Like, I do agree with you.
As I
this
am now
person
reading
is
this,
sick,
yeah,
like in the head, but it is
This tweet is still up. It has 46 likes. However, there is a initial quote tweet that has 81 likes saying, "Hey," after leaving it up for a day that he died.
I'm just under the assumption like no one actually knows who this is. It's like just an anonymous account
but
saying this person died. Haha, he didn't die. We've got winners. I don't know. It killed me. It killed
I
me.
agree.
No pun intended. It killed me.
Did the first tweet get deleted?
No, it's still up.
No, like the one where he like rest in peace, like the dates of
The one where he-
this one's still up.
Sorry, the one that claims he died in a wave pool?
Yeah.
It's still up. Yeah, all of it's still up. Not one thing was deleted, but the tweet about his death has 830 likes.
I know sounds really dumb, but my barometer on this is just about like no one with if someone with a following did this, I would think it was abhorrent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like your level of celebrity is the wrong term.
I actually
but
agree
like
with
you're-
like if you did this, I would honestly never forgive you.
Whoa,
Because I'd be like, what the fuck?
Wait, let me an
Okay,
update. So
Update.
if you noticed a screenshot on screen, what's this badge next to his name here?
WAP, right?
WAP. If you go to his account now,
He's lost his walk.
No, tell me he's like back from the grave bets or something like
no,
that.
there's no WAP
Okay,
logo next
so-
to his
Oh,
name.
really?
Oh,
He
they
lost
booted
So
him.
WAP booted him.
WAP did not
because
like
of
this
this.
Breaking your
strategy.
own
You
debt.
know
Wow.
what? Fucking great
If
move,
you
WAP.
go as
No, I
far
agree.
as to make me agree with something WAP did, you are a piece of shit.
Okay, I agree it's a piece of shit. I agree with what WAP
Wow.
did. I also agreed, like, no one was legitimately hurt or saddened in this because no one actually knew this person.
I didn't think of that perspective, and I actually do agree with you. Like, when you think about it like that, it is more funny than... It is funny. Like, objectively, it is funny. Now that I see the
tweet-
ghost emoji,
this
the
tweet is
hashtag back from the
amazing.
grave. Jacob, put this into the Google sheet.
It's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
already in the Hall of
Definitely
Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. This is a
The
good
Hall of Fame, by the way, is we're tracking the best and worst tweets of the year, and we'll have a special at the end of the year featuring tweets like this one, which are in the Hall of Fame. Wow.
You got that other room in here where like things that seem like they're a little more serious get filmed?
educational
Sure.
interviews. Yeah.
I can't wait to like just be sat in that room and just be shown this tweet and T-Bone's Rolex and like and literally like and people, you know, some for Christmas time content or something. I cannot wait to record that.
T-Bone's
I mean that.
Rolex. Wow, I forgot about that one.
A lot of the Hall of Fame tweets are people coming back from the dead.
That's a great way to put it, and a great way to end off our very first live Circle Back show here on the Circles Off channel. Again, we're proudly presented by Kalshi. Check them out with the link in the description, and check out some more content from the Hammer Betting Network later on today. Hit the books. We have the live stream later on today. Forward Progress. We have the watch along for Monday Night Football tonight. We want to see you there, but make sure you're subscribed to our channel here, Circles Off. We have Circle Back twice a week, plus extra content Wednesdays. And hey, you guys wanted interviews. Maybe an interview is dropping this week. And also make sure you do drop a like before you go. Really does help push us up in the YouTube algorithm. But again, That will do it from us. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you again soon for more content here on the channel.